Yo, you are now locked into the crossover DXB with myself, Myers Freek. What are you saying to me, bro?
Good, man. How you been, bro? How's your week?
I'm good. Alhamdulillah. You know the vibes.
Okay.
We move. Yeah, so today we're joined by two special guests that will be giving us an insight into Dubai real estate. Yeah? Okay. Guest number one, we got Conor McKay, aka top 5 real estate broker.
Okay.
You understand? Award winner.
Okay.
Yeah, you know the vibes, proper things. And guest number 2, we got Pete Blenman, aka Mr. No Days Off. Where you get that nickname from?
Name?
Yeah.
Not too sure where he got that from because he hasn't worked a day in his life.
Coming from the guy that's in the office. Anyway.
Come on, man's just throwing the banter around already. Yeah. Where you get that name from?
That come from when I was back in the UK, to be honest, in terms of like, obviously back in the UK real estate, you're working 6 days a week. So you're literally just working every single day. Even on my day off, I'm always working. So I had that from back in the UK, but then when I come back out here, obviously you've gone from working every day the same thing, but then you're partying every day as well. So it's like you're always on something. So yeah, it just stuck from a while ago. And
Would you say No Days Off is like a lifestyle?
That's it, 100%.
Yeah.
I think that's in my bio as well.
Is it?
Anyway,
okay. Maybe we need to.
It's more than just a name; it's a lifestyle. A lot of people will say it.
Yeah.
But like people that are close to me, they'll know like you're literally working morning till night, and then obviously you'll go out because obviously you've got a lot of people out on holiday, and it's just an active lifestyle. So
it's always someone's birthday too.
This is what I'm saying. There's always someone on holiday, someone's birthday. There's always an occasion. So you're always just.
No, I respect it. It's the grind. It's the grind. I'm sure.
Just fix your mic quick.
Yeah, just make sure you're speaking to the mic, bro.
Cool.
I'm sure Freek can, say something with regards to that. No days off, working,
No days off,
trapping
bro.
in whatever way, shape, or form. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I think we reached a point right now where you need to do a lot of things on the side. It's not only it's a 9 to 5 thing. You need to have something on the side where it's actually own, and you can call it's your baby.
Yeah, different avenues.
And, hopefully in the future that's going to be your full-time job where you can actually do your own thing and
I hear that. Conor,
don't have to worry about nothing.
Can you relate? No days off.
I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah, talk to me.
Top 5 best UAE agent without working, but I think me and Pete have completely two different ways of working. Everyone works differently, but this job in real estate, it's hustle. Whether you're in the office or you're sitting in a lobby of a hotel, it's hustle. You're on your phone calls are coming through, you're making phone calls, you're responding to emails, you're getting price reductions.
Yeah,
it's just general conversation day in, day out, and it's mostly when you don't expect it. So you could be sitting in bed 11:30 at night, boom, you're on the phone next minute, 2:00 in the morning, you're on the laptop trying to sort
getting the deals done.
Anything to get a deal done.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I think I met Pete through a business partner of mine, and in all fairness, I must say, with regards to the real estate guys, I've seen a lot of people come and go. I've been here 7 years, and you meet people and they say, yeah, I've just landed yesterday, and I'm like, what are you doing? They're like, oh, real estate. And I feel like there's a certain stigma to people that work within real estate here, which we will get into, right? But in all fairness, Pete, he's still here, still grinding, you understand, selling properties and whatever else. When I met Conor, I think we was at a beach club. I don't know if you're going to remember, right? No shock there. And I met Conor.
The second time was you sold me the Discord cap.
See, you remember. Yeah, you do remember. So the first time, I think we were talking, and in all fairness, I think you had just moved over, but you had a swagger about you. I must say, you had a swagger about you, and you carried a certain level of confidence. So when you told me that you was a real estate guy, I was interested to see the development of that, right? Just because of the way you handle yourself and stuff like that. And I think, you did buy a D-squared hat off me these times. I think we were like 2015?
3 years ago, 4 years
Yeah, a little
ago.
while ago. So obviously a lot's happened since. So fair play to you. You guys are both still here. So we're located in Dubai, right? So we have Freek. Freek was born here. However, we're expats. So if we're going to jump straight into it, why did you guys decide to move from the UK or Ireland? You're from Ireland, right? Whereabouts in Ireland?
Limavady.
Okay, so why did you...
It's just a small town in the north.
Right, okay. Yeah, so why did you decide to move from home to here? Was you doing real estate at home?
No, I wasn't doing anything property related. Before I moved into real estate, I was in the car industry, so I was selling cars. On the side, I was selling golf clubs online. Before that, I worked in a restaurant, serving cocktails. Before that, I was in school, so I had about 6 people working to me in school, selling sweets and running around with kit bags, Lucozades here and there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, look, the reason why I moved to Dubai is for lifestyle, money, to improve my life, to have a good life, opportunity.
Yeah. What about yourself, Pete?
Same thing, really. Just the opportunity, the lifestyle, just being able to just see with UK real estate, you can make a good living. Like, obviously, to just go up the ranks, become a manager, have your own office, even open your own company, you can make good money off of it. But it takes your whole life. But out here, you can work, obviously, you work hard, no days off, that's a lifestyle, yeah. But you can live your life as well. So, like, you're literally feeling like you're on holiday every single week. So, it's the balance of, being able to make a lot of money, further your life, but at the same time, enjoy it. So, 100%.
And it can only take one deal. Pete just touched on the subject of working your whole life back in the UK to open up a real estate office and grinding. But all it can take is meeting one person, doing one deal here to take you to that next level 100%. Where it would not happen back in the UK.
Literally.
Right. So, a lot of people would say, or would question, you guys are working in Dubai. Oh, surely it must be easy to sell properties in Dubai. It's got to be. There's loads of people with money here. It must be like light work, basically, yeah? So obviously I'm seeing that you guys are smiling and shaking your heads and whatever else. So can you dive into that? Is that the case, or how easy is it to strike a deal, would you say?
Quite the opposite. So again, you touched on it earlier when you said that you've seen a lot of people come and go, because that is the belief. Like, oh yeah, cool, I'll come out here, I'll sell some property, I'll make some money. It's 50% commission, tax-free. But you got to start from the bottom. You got to build yourself up. Like, people out here, they've got money, but again, they need to kind of trust in you. And people do business with people they like at the end of the day. So it's like, you'll meet someone, let's say Conor, and like he's got this property that's obviously X amount of money, but they're not really going to want to work with him unless they feel like he knows what he's doing.
So do you think they're buying into the agent?
100%.
Yeah, people buy from people. It's an old saying, but people do buy from people.
100%. So again, it's like, it's all about image at the same time. It's all about like your story and where you've come from and what you've done. So like Conor's been working, and I'll obviously tell the story that Conor started in an area called Jumeirah Park, which is like just normal village. You know Jumeirah Park, it's just normal villas, like 3.
But for the people that don't know, what's it like?
Just normal like 3, 4, 5 beds, normal families that live in that area. So he started there, but then obviously started focusing on like the luxury side of things. So Emirates Hills, which again, for the people that know, it's like Beverly Hills,
right? Okay,
like style of Dubai. So it's all like mansions and plots and like just the rich and famous up there. So when he first started on it, you're failing, but at the same time you're learning. So people look at him and think, oh yeah, he's lucky. All he has to do is just list that property, do a viewing, get a deal. But it's all those failures that come before that that's even put him in the position to know how to conduct himself when he meets that client, when he meets that owner.
Yeah.
And they're the things that you don't see.
Yeah.
So it's like, I've been out here, 5 years now? Conor, 4?
4 years on this next week. 4 years on the 2nd of February.
Yeah,
right.
Didn't happen straight away. It took a long time to get to where we are.
And I think just to stay on that particular point, it's important for people to understand that it takes a lot of groundwork.
100.
A lot of foundation has to be built. You understand? I'm sure Freek, living here, you've seen loads of people come and go in different fields, different industries, yeah. And I think from wherever people are from and looking inside, it's very easy to assume that the lifestyle is very high and beneficial and it's easy and stuff like that. But really and truly, if you're looking at social media, no one's posting the grind.
Of course not.
You know what I'm saying? For me, I think there's pleasure in the grind. Yeah. However, it's always easy to touch on the grind when you're no longer grinding.
You only see the positives, but people don't see where, maybe for my story, I came here, I lived in a maid's room. I lived in a maid's room for 3 months. What's that? I don't know, 2 meters by 5 meters.
Yeah.
No window. That was 3,000 dirhams a month at that stage, which is like 650 quid.
Yeah.
Remember when he
It's a
come,
hell of a lot of money.
How old were you when you come? Like 19?
19?
They wouldn't even give him a rental.
No, I didn't have no car. So people don't see that.
Yeah.
You know, people don't see that side of.
Yeah.
They see this. They see the side now where you've got a nice watch, where you've got a car, you've got a nice house.
Yeah, they don't see the grind.
They don't see the grind. They don't see what, you know, some things what you actually have to go through just to try to make things work. But failure wasn't an option for me, so it had to go one way. And
that's great. And I think what people need to understand is that although we are on the topic of real estate, previous episodes we've talked about music, you know, and other industries, and a lot of characteristics or way of moving forward or succeeding applies to every field, really. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the saying that we touched on a couple of episodes ago, like basically you're not paying for my half an hour's work, you're paying for
100.
the 10 years that I've put in before that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Half an hour work.
There you go. So what would you say with regards to like music and grinding and putting in the work?
Like obviously a lot of people don't like to show their come up. Like always people want to see the top of the perk. Like they want to see your success. Obviously everyone has their own story to tell, right? But I think for me, it was so important for me to actually show people where I came from, because Dubai always had this image of it's luxury, it's for people that actually have money, and that's it. If you don't fit that category, then I don't think you can fit in Dubai. But that's why it was so important for me to actually show, like, hey, we actually came up from somewhere. Like, it wasn't like that. Like, you can't even live in Emirates Hills from the get-go as soon as you land in Dubai, right? You need to live somewhere. You probably live in the maid room when you actually moved in Dubai, and then you actually escalate. But a lot of people don't like to show that, like, when they're in Dubai. I know a lot of people that live...
I think a lot of people should show it more, though.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
I know a lot of
appreciate
people...
it more.
They actually share a house with 6 people.
Yeah.
They live in the floor, basically, all of them, right? But all of them have like X6s and Mercedes Benz, and someone has a Ferrari, bro, and their salary is not even fit. Like, basically the whole salary goes on a rental.
It's all about the image, yeah.
But on Instagram, this guy is killing it. But
Yeah.
obviously he's not going to show you where he lives. He's not going to show you his full...
Personally...
Because he feels ashamed. Like, he feels like, I can't be in Dubai and not show my people that I'm balling, right? So he kills all his salary just to show people that, hey, I'm good, I'm making money.
I think that comes down to the whole faking it until you make it sort of thing.
But some people just take it to the next level where they can't even coop up. They can't even pay their own bills after that, you know?
Yeah. I think it comes down to a level of confidence as well. You'd have to be very confident to show your struggle whilst you're struggling.
That's it. 100.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's so easy once you've made it to say, do you know how far I've come? Look at the pictures. But when you're going through it, maybe that's not your main goal to show people what you're going through. You're trying to get out of what you're going through. So I understand people keeping the grind to themselves until they've got to a certain situation where they're confident enough to share that. Like even myself, people don't know when I come here, I was staying at my boys. I was on a sofa bed. People don't see that. I remember my mum FaceTiming me, how's it going, son? I'm like, yeah, well, all good. These times, I'm on my last paycheck. I'm not even working, actually. I'm doing like football coaching. I'm making ends meet. But it makes the story so much sweeter.
Yeah.
Like now, I'm sure...
good about talking about the story.
Yeah, I mean, it brings a level of confidence, you know, and you can apply that grind into different aspects of life. So you say, oh, you know what? I've come through this before. I know I can get through this.
That's it.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Obviously, it goes up and down. It's not like you're down at the bottom and then you're just up. You do still come back down.
Yeah.
It's just like you coming back down. You know, you look back to when you was down before. You're always going to go back up. So you've got that faith that it's not the end of the world. So especially out here, it's definitely sink or swim. Because like you ain't got no cushion of, oh, if I don't make it, I'm gonna go back to my mum's house. Or I'm gonna ask my mum to send over a bit of money. I ain't got that. You mad? Like if I don't make money, I'm not eating. It's that simple. So it's like when you've got that kind of hunger and you've got that kind of motivation behind you, and that's the good thing about real estate. You wake up every single day. You don't know what's gonna happen. Like you've got the opportunity to make as much money as you want if you put in the work. So a lot of people get distracted by that in terms of the lifestyle. And you're going out all the time. You're living the high life. Yeah, I've got. And again, the dirhams thing gets into your head. Yes. You look like, yeah, I've got 10,000, like I've got 50,000, I'm up, like. But then you're putting like 1,000 there, 1,000 there. As soon as it's gone.
Easy come, easy go.
Now I've got money, and it's just like, and you're getting them texts as well, and your Emirates MVPs. You're like, raw.
That's the last thing you want to see after a night out.
Oh, mate, tell me.
Like what we're saying is like people that do not live in Dubai is when more time when you set up a bank account, you have to give them your passport, you have to give them your phone number. So your account is attached to your phone. So when you spend money, it's actually a good way of tracking funds.
100, yeah.
But you know, you get a text message to say X amount has been spent.
Even if it's £2,
Even if it's £2, anything.
Pence, it doesn't matter what it is.
But I think that helps because there's times
good in a way, because when you get paid and when you do a nice deal and you get paid a good money, you get that text message. Wow!
I've waited for that text before, like, you know, when I'm grinding.
I've been sitting on my phone at times, just looking at it, screenshotting it, sending it back to my mum, and say, "Yeah, put that into your currency exchange. Put that into pounds."
There's times where that text has like almost changed my mood. Like I'm waiting for it to come, and I'm pissed. And when it comes, I'm like, my whole mood has changed. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Conor, you touched on something earlier which I wanted to expand on, and I think this lives within all of us, right? You saying on the come up, before you was here, you might have been working in a restaurant and whatever else, but at school you did something that I used to do as well, and I think in whatever way, shape or form you guys have probably done as well, is like selling sweets.
Yeah, of course.
Stuff like that. That shows entrepreneurial spirit. That shows grind. Like you're not even really supposed to be in that mindset. You're supposed to be worrying about football or playing tennis or whatever. However, we would go to a store, buy sweets, chocolate, biscuits, come to school, correct me if I'm wrong, and sell those things for a little bit extra profit.
Yeah, correct.
And the reason why I did that is because my lunch money was tight.
Yeah.
And I wanted more lunch money. I'm getting £2 a day, £3 a day. A few other people are getting like £5-6 a day. I'm not having that.
I used to get free meals. You get a little
There you
voucher.
go. There you go. So I
You
think
don't get nothing nice with free meals in school.
there you go. So I think that grind, when that flourishes and you put that into play into the real world, you know, there's benefits from that.
No, of course. You learn that from early.
But like no one is gonna catch you doing that in school? Like the teacher?
Well, look, I mean, I had a very, very good relationship with the principal because I played golf. I was quite well known for golf back where I'm from. When I was the only kind of really junior member who was like probably the best golfer in the golf club at the stage. Not maybe the best, but definitely up there. And I was only 16 or 17. But my principal, she was the ladies captain of the golf club.
Okay.
So in her eyes, I could do no wrong. It was great. So I had my form teacher. Yeah, she hated me. I had my maths teacher, hated me. So every time I and she knew what was going on, because she knows, you know, she knows my mum as well. So my mum, believe it or not, she actually used to buy the sweets for me at times.
Right.
Oh, that's amazing.
Supporting the grind.
From that. So she supported the grind. She liked the way she supported the grind and moved me out here. She lent me £5,000. She's obviously got that back and much, much more. But she supported the grind. So she believed in me. So every time I got caught, maybe from the vice principal or the form teacher, you know, they would have sent me up to the principal,
Like
not knowing kind of the relationship
you
I
have.
had. So I'd have had to bring up the kit bag. It was full of Lucozade. I mean, I don't know how many times the handle or the little strap in this kit bag broke off because it was that heavy.
Remember those JD bags?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Moral of the story.
Handing it like that, put it in the back. She says, "Look, just sit down there for 20-30 minutes. Just keep it in the cupboard. I'll give it to you after."
Luckily,
after school
that's lucky because I never afforded that privilege. The teachers were almost like, you know, police as such. So we had to kind of hide from that and sell on the sly. And
well, I did have to before. In the last principal, it was like, I used to get suspended all the time. But the new principals, you know, I did have that little bit of luxury, I guess, to I could have got away with a few things while other people wouldn't.
I personally believe they should embrace things like that.
Yeah, of course.
You know, obviously it has to be controlled. Obviously, because you have to learn about paying taxes and stuff, which is a whole other conversation which they don't teach you in school. But
they don't teach you in school to make money.
There you go. They teach you in school
there's
to
no class in school, in high school, primary school, or even university. They don't teach you how to make money. They just teach you to get an A4 piece of paper which says a grade on it.
And also the secondary stuff that they teach you is like routine. So you hear a bell, it's time to go. You wake up. Like there's secondary stuff that's just good, like being punctual and stuff. However, it's a whole different topic, but it's quite grooming to a degree. And they use those systems in prison and stuff like that. However, that's a whole different conversation.
Someone else.
Freek.
I can't say I've experienced that one.
Freek, I wanted to touch on the schools here in the UAE. Obviously, we spoke off camera. You were saying that the school that you actually went to, because there's a lot of private schools here. However, you went to a state school, right?
Yeah.
So, did you do anything? Can you relate to what we're saying in terms of selling sweets, or was there anything that you used to participate in?
Bro, in school they used to sell mudwakhs, bro. That's all I remember.
What's that?
The docha, the smoked
Oh, what
docha.
smoke?
They
At
used
what
to sell
age?
docha At like 16, 17, you know?
That's
They used to sell it,
crazy.
yeah, because obviously you can't even get it in, right? So
Yeah.
whoever gets it in.
So you lot was trapping.
Bro, these guys, I'm not going to call it trapping, but
Alright,
these
cool.
guys were on some next shit, you know? But
Them schools sound more gangster than the UK, bro. That's
But
crazy.
the thing is, like, I grew up with a lot of locals, so obviously locals love cars, right? And when we were like 16, 17, most of these guys had cars. They used to drive, no license, no nothing. You know, they used to take their brother's car, and they come pick us up, go cruise around. So so the teachers are like, yo, these guys are not really running from school. These guys are actually hopping on a whip and leaving.
Yeah.
You know, so it's actually hard to catch them. These guys leave
off the premises. Mad.
Yeah.
All right, well, back to real estate. You guys, I want you to break it down to me. Okay? Is it a buyer's market right now?
No.
Oh,
Nah,
wow.
it's a seller's market.
Sellers market. Man.
Sellers
And
market?
that's only turned in the past, I would say, 120 days, really. Probably 120 days, but it probably just started that post-lockdown. After lockdown happened, I think a lot of people started to wake up. You know, they were in their apartment 30 days of the month. You had to apply for a police permit just to go grocery shopping.
Yeah.
You know, that
That's right.
you know what it was like. So people who maybe at the time were paying, let's say, 110,000 dirhams for a year's rent, you could get a 3-bedroom townhouse with a nice garden, outdoor barbecue area. And during lockdown, that's the peak weather. It's amazing weather. April, beautiful weather. So you come in your garden, tanning, barbecue on. So I think a lot of people woke up big time.
Right.
And that had a big surge on prices on rentals and prices on sales in the villa communities and the townhouse communities rather than apartments as much. So there's limited stock, and I'm not too sure what Pete can say on his market he deals in. But
yeah, so I deal with it, residential market, more like normal families, and yeah, just off the back of the lockdown, I think like a lot of people, they just had to look at their living situation in terms of people being in a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom apartment with 2 kids, and when you're in lockdown, nothing else is open. All you've got is your balcony, and it's like that's not going to work. So a lot of people are then motivated to then move into villas, and obviously now people are working from home, so they need an extra bedroom for like a study. And yeah, it just kick-started the market off the back of the lockdown. A lot of people sitting on the fence thinking about buying. They then said, you know what, we're going to stay here a little bit longer. We're not going back to our home country because of how they dealt with the corona situation. So yeah, the market last summer just very busy. So everything that was on the market before the lockdown sold. People then came to the market, obviously, that lost jobs or moving back home, etc., sold. So then anything that's come onto the market since then has been at a higher price because the owners aren't as motivated. But then there's still a lot of buyers on the market. So therefore, the prices are literally just going up and up and up. And because there's so many buyers, they're just chasing the market. So then, yeah, it's just going up.
there's no buyer. There's more buyers than there are sellers, and
That's
unfortunately,
Really?
when there's demand,
Yeah.
more demand there is.
Increase.
Yeah, it's mad.
So would you say that is a result of the pandemic and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. If the pandemic haven't happened here,
That wouldn't have happened, no,
that wouldn't have
100%.
happened. I would have seen it still going downhill probably
Yeah,
for the next year, 18 months or so.
Yeah, it was like the market was starting to recover just before the lockdown. So it was still showing signs of recovery, but that definitely kick-started it. And then just after the lockdown as well, they changed like the mortgage cap in terms of it used to be 25% you'd have to put down. They put that down to 20%. So again, that brought a lot of people to the market because it's not as much you have to put down. 25% is crazy.
Yeah,
When you think
very
about back in
expensive.
the UK, there's a lot of people that actually get like 5% mortgages. So it's
Yeah.
like
10% or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, my boy, he bought a house for 400k the other day. He put down 20k.
Yeah,
Like,
crazy.
That's mad. Like you could never do that
in
out
the
here.
UK.
Yeah.
In the UK, yeah. £400,000, 4-bedroom house in a very good location, very close to a London overground station that goes straight into London Bridge within like 12 minutes, and £400,000 for a 4-bedroom house. That's mad. And you put down £20,000.
Yeah.
So it's like out here, a lot of people didn't jump onto the market because the market's been going down for the last, since 2014, I'd say. It's just literally been on a downward slope. But then now they started seeing signs of recovery. A lot of people, yeah, as I said, staying there long term. So yeah,
And it's funny because one person buys, they speak to their friends and like, oh yeah, I just bought that.
Yeah.
And then people start thinking, oh, because he bought one, I need to buy.
Right.
And
it's just
then
a ripple
boom, boom, boom,
effect.
it's just a trend. So it's like, oh, you know, I bought this villa in their group chat. This guy, you should buy this villa. I've seen properties in Emirates Hills transfer 3 times since October. So change hands 3 times,
Wow.
but for one price, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. I remember that District 1 villa you was telling me. Cause it
Yeah,
was a
District
long,
1 villa. So I'll tell you this story. So I sold the District 1 villa in Mohammed bin Rashid City. great community, close to downtown DFC, 10 minutes to Zuma, prime. And a lot of people who were moving from these penthouses, a lot of business executives and CEOs and directors who living in penthouses in downtown DFC, they went through that phase in lockdown. Well, you know what, I'm spending X amount of this money. I've got a good job, I've got money, I want to move to the villa. So the villa prices straight up. In July, June, I was selling 5-bedroom villas at 9.2 million. Huge corner plots. So that was, and at that was like, you could have maybe got it for 8.6, 8.7.
Right. So
I've had offers of 13 million on it now.
Crazy.
$1 million quid difference.
Wow.
In the space of 6 months, 7 months?
That's
and
madness.
the owners are turning that down because they're wanting more.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there was one that he sold that I think you sold it in like March or April, and then he actually transferred it in like July, August. And at the transfer, he's like, you bought it for X amount. I think it was like 6 something.
Yeah, this was a 4-bed, 6.9. We sold it for him at the time of transfer when the guy was actually doing the ownership for it. There's a bit of madness in between it. It was worth like 8.5. So I had two buyers on the phone at the transfer and saying, "Can you get that guy to sell? Can you get that guy to sell? I'll come off a check now."
It's like 2 million.
So the demand is there.
And this guy got a mortgage, so he only put X amount into it, and he could have been walking away with like, boom,
Yeah,
2 million
crazy
dirhams.
money. If he was a cash buyer and stuff like that.
But I always thought Dubai always keeps on building. There's always space for
So
people
that's
to
the other
actually
thing
buy.
as well. So again, there's a lot of things that's kind of coupled into it, but you got like there has always been an oversupply of property in Dubai, and that's always been the issue. It's still on the apartment side of things, yeah, but on the villa side of things, they kind of handed over a lot of communities all at the same time. So you see like Mudon, Arabian Ranches to Mac Hills. There was like, I think, 8 different villa communities that all handed over in the space of like 2 years. So obviously when you got like masses of villas that come on the market, it's hard.
And then around the same area.
And they're all around the same
radius,
area.
yeah.
Like you can't of course the prices are just gonna go down.
Yeah.
Now they've all completed, they've all sold, everyone's moved in, there's nothing left. And now
So now the price.
and then EMA
increase.
announced 2 months ago.
They've stopped
Months ago,
construction.
yeah, they've stopped not construction, but they stopped launching projects. So it's like they're going to finish the projects that they've launched already, but they're not launching any more projects. So therefore, when that's going to slow up as well, it's like, yeah, of course, there's going to be now a demand for villas because there's not much.
Yeah,
coming
that's
up
how it goes. What would you say in terms of actually being the person, the agent that sells these properties? We were saying that they buy into you, right? First, okay, that's just the world. That's just the way the world works, yeah. So if they're gonna buy into you, how much does your image matter?
Oh, massive.
Huge.
First impressions all the
Huge.
time. They always judge you. They look at your watch, they look at your car, they look at your suit. They want to know. They want to believe you know what you're doing. And then someone that's turning up in some dead rental with some dead beat up shoes and some baggy suit, like
Unfortunately.
yeah, who's this guy? Like, but if they see a guy that's successful, they're like,
You can't
he's
sell a
clearly-
6 million
what I'm saying.
townhouse with that
So
suit.
do you think it has to be relative though? Because if you're selling a townhouse or villa that's very expensive, then you turn up, you have the nice car, you have the nice watch and stuff like that.
Well, people are attracted and are adjoined to that lifestyle. So if they're, let's say for example, I'm dealing with quite a few famous people at the moment where I've had to sign non-disclosure, so unfortunately I can't say their name. But you take
No,
this
we're going to
guy's
squeeze you
name
soon.
you can squeeze all you want. This one
Steady.
I've even told Pete. I said,
Charles, I asked him earlier. It's just like, just gave
So
me the look, sure.
yeah, but you put this guy's name into Google, he's worth $500 million. So he isn't going to entertain if I turn up late or if I turn up raggy or if I don't know what I'm talking about, and as I say, I turn up in a Nissan rental or something like that. He's going to be like, well, why is this guy trying to sell me?
Can I trust what he's saying?
Yeah, can I trust what he's saying? That's all
I'm
it
putting
comes
a lot
down
of
to.
money into you at the end of the day. Like, I need to trust your judgment. When I ask you, how much is this and why is it worth this? I need to know you know what you're talking about. So if you've never sold one before, like clearly you haven't.
So would you see that, like the clothes that you wear, the suit that you put on, the car that you drive, would you see that as an investment?
100%.
Absolutely.
Because now you're able to sell yourself in a way.
A very famous real estate broker, $1 million listing called Frederick Eklund, New York. He says, and I'm a firm believer of it, so every paycheck he gets, he puts 10% into his personal image, whether it be clothes, watches.
Wow.
Wow.
I've never heard that before. And that was in his book. So I was in like the first maybe 5 pages of his book, maybe 10 pages of his book.
Yeah.
So that always stuck with me. And I was reading that book 3.5 years ago when I had to get the metro.
And again, I think not only real estate, that applies to everything. Whether you're rapping, whether you're in construction, whether you're in real estate. If you invest in your image, you invest in yourself in terms of your image, the way you come across. Not only are you easy to understand, and you're easy to kind of sell whatever you're trying to sell.
You connect.
You feel more confident. You feel like the man.
I was going to say that as well.
Do you know what I mean?
Like, as well as it works for them, it works for you. Because when you're putting on a nice suit, nice shoes,
you feel good.
100%, your confidence going up, and then if you're confident, again, it comes across better for the client. So
but just touching on the image question, where you said your image, there's times where I have done viewings on the weekend, maybe been a bit hungover. I've have a t-shirt and shorts on, maybe still have a decent watch on. I've still got my car, but that person came from a referral who I've done business with before. So if it comes from a referral, I don't really have to prove anything because they're coming to me. So then I can control that situation way differently than I wouldn't been able to if it was. So
would you say that's more assisting than selling? Like you're more just there to kind of show what you have, because you're not. I think you're still selling.
That's real estate anyway. I feel like you can't sell anything to someone. Like at the end of the day, they've already made up their mind if they're gonna buy something or not. You're there to just facilitate and just provide the information and just ask the right question at the right time.
Source the right.
That's it.
Probably what they
it's
need.
Like you're just guiding them as opposed to like forcing them into. There are agents that are very forceful in their
and that's put me off in the past.
That's what I'm saying. So therefore, it might work for that sell, but that person's never gonna.
And I tell you what else as well, like. It's good to be confident, but when you get an arrogant guy that's like, I'm the shit, I sell X amount of villas.
Nobody wants to deal with someone like that.
Do you know what I'm saying? So
there's a level.
Yeah, there's a level. Not a fine line, but you just got to stay. In my personal experience, you got to stay in a bracket,
and that takes time. It takes experience as well.
Yeah.
Again, like as you said, that you can't teach that. That's something you learn. Like I've been on viewings before where like some people you've got to talk a lot. There's other people just shut up. Like if you, I've been told by clients like, I met an agent earlier, just wouldn't shut up. I couldn't even think about the video I'm looking at. Like, you need to kind of judge people and know how to kind of conduct yourself. There's some people that are very quiet, so you got to match that. Like,
and that comes from adaptation. And I think, Freak, you live in here, you have a lot of expats. So in order to communicate with expats, they come from different places. So you adapt. We've moved here, so we've ultimately had to adapt. So that's kind of in our DNA. That's why whether you're struggling, whether you're doing well, whether you're on the come up, whether you're on the grind, I respect anyone that comes from somewhere else to Dubai. Or even in the UK, you might have people that have traveled to the UK. I always respect those people that have made that move, because that's a big jump in itself.
Of course,
people underestimate that.
Moving their family, different cultural, different language, different foods, different time zone.
Yeah, and I would never like mock somebody that the English is not as good because they're bilingual. So
of course, 100%. That's like, you can't even speak good English, but I can only speak English. How can I even mock you? And I've only got one skill. Yeah.
So I appreciate people like that, and I think it's beneficial to be able to adapt and stuff like that. So quickly, I had something that kind of bothered me not too long ago. I say not too long ago, maybe a couple of years ago, but I was renting at the time. And have you ever done rentals before, or just
of course, you got to start from the bottom.
So would you say
rentals? I was doing rentals for I don't know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years.
You'd say rentals is it's the bottom, or is it just like?
I wouldn't say it's the bottom. Look, there's so many agents who just do rentals who are even 40 years of age, have been doing rentals for 10 years. Rentals, in a way, you get paid a lot quicker. It's faster transacting, and it's a faster way of making money.
And it depends on the market as well.
Depends on the market as well, yeah. So
and where you're working as well.
I've done some big rentals where there've been like 1.5, 1.6, 1.4 million dirhams. The commission on that's 5%, so that's like £15,000.
Yeah, decent money.
So that's a lot of money still.
And like when I was doing rentals in like our villa areas, like, our rental deals would be more than a lot of the sales deals in certain areas. So it's like, they're in sales, cool. They're doing transactions, but I'm actually doing more and I'm making more than you, even though I'm in leasing. So it's not that it's all
relative.
Better
it's all relative.
At the end of the day, I feel like you need to start in leasing because you need to learn Dubai as well. Like,
learn the process.
100%. You need to learn the areas. You need to learn people. So it's like people respect knowledge at the end of the day, and you build that knowledge when you're in leasing because you're going on more viewings, you're doing more deals, you're going through it a lot more. So,
for example, what I use to my benefit when you said knowledge, when I was in leasing, I know I've rented for a few villas in Emirates sales in that certain area, and I know that they're still there because I keep in contact with them. So if I've got one listing for sale, And for example, the client asks, "So, do you know the neighbors next door? Do you know who lives in this street?" Or, no, I know everything. I know the name of their dog.
I was about to ask the same question. Bro.
I know the name of their dog. I know the breed of their dog. I know their daughter. I know their mother. Make sure you know everything. And if you can name that to someone, how good does that look? Did you actually know them?
Yeah. And
if you've only met them once.
Yeah. And you've got that knowledge from doing the rentals and from being around town and stuff like that. What was you going to say?
I was going to ask you a question. Like, you see these people that come to you, they're like, hey, I'm interested in buying this property. And then they'll tell you, where's these guys next to us? Like, where are they from? What nationalities are these guys? Like, some people are actually worried about, because they want to live around. They want to live around people they actually know, or they're from the same nationality, or from the same.
Have you ever had a case where the neighbors or the environment has kind of?
Well, look, I had a case late last year where I showed this family this listing I had for around 28 million dirhams. I showed this family this villa. And we got to the stage where the deal was practically agreed, and I had to send the title deed for the check copy to get a deposit check.
That's done.
Turned out to be their cousin who owned it.
What?
So that deal didn't happen because it was an internal family member who owned it, but they had no idea, and there was a huge fallout in the family. Now this is a big deal. I had an agency fee agreed from both parties, so you're looking at over 1.2 million dirhams in commission, and that deal didn't go through just because
family members. That's crazy.
So
that's mad. What I was going to ask,
I've actually spoke about that, but
no. What I was going to ask originally is when I was renting apartments, right? I would call an agent and say, look, I'm interested in this particular apartment, right? And I think you guys will know where I'm going with this. And they would say, okay, yeah, no problem. It's vacant. Go there yourself and have a look. And I'm like, what do you mean go there myself? So they would tell me to go there. I'll open the door. It's empty. I can go and look myself. Don't get me wrong. Actually, it's beneficial for someone like me because I can see what I want to rent and stuff. I don't necessarily need an agent next to me. Yeah. But then if that's the case,
why am I paying them?
Why am I paying commission? What service am I paying for? So can you not speak to that? Well,
look, there's two ways to that, right? Let's say, for example, I've got a full diary booked, and out of respect to you, you've just called me and, your diary's booked and you've only got this certain time frame which you can view. So I'm like, look, unfortunately, it depends again how that conversation's handled. You're speaking to me and says, look, unfortunately, sorry, Chris, but my diary's booked. I can arrange, if you feel comfortable with it, I can arrange for that door to be open. And now
so that would be a good way to go about it.
You handle it. But on the backside, where your question was, why am I paying for that service? If it was for me, and obviously I'll handle things in a certain way which come across good and which are done in a professional way, but I might have had to make 50 calls or 100 calls just to get that one specific unit to be vacant, which again, on the subject of grinding below and
people not knowing what's happening behind the scenes.
So that's my side of things. But I know I've gone to places where I've been told to, I called an agent when just before moved into the apartment, maybe 18 months ago or whatever it was, and I'm at brunch. I'll arrange the access next week. I'm like, what do you mean you're at brunch?
Yeah, that's crazy. Like stuff like
I'm
that.
ready to move now. I'm ready, and that's exactly what I want. Then I've had to go to the reception and go view it myself, which is fine. But I mean, I'm not going to be, why is you getting paid for that?
But
no chance.
The thing is, agents like that make our job easier because there are a lot of shit agents out here, terrible lazy agents. So it's like when people have been through the experience of dealing with those kind of agents, and then they get to you, and just the way you handle
the service,
they're like, you know what, I'm sticking with this guy.
Even
if they don't like the apartment, they'll probably still take it because they like you. So it's just like.
So they're doing you a favor as such when people come across the likes of yourself that handle yourself in a way.
100%. It makes, as I said,
it's easier. It's like, actually, this agent's all right. He's actually here. Do you know what I'm saying? He's actually at the apartment.
But on that as well, we're talking about apartments. I've not done that market out here, so I don't know exactly what it's like. But from what I've heard,
likewise,
it's difficult because a lot of people waste a lot of time with apartments. Like with apartments, people don't know what they want. They don't know what building they want to be in, what floor they want, what view they want. Like they're just like, I need an apartment. So it's like someone could go and see 20 apartments with one agent.
There's over 200 buildings in Marina
Alone. So that you can go and see 20 apartments with one agent and then meet one agent tomorrow, show them one and take that. So it's like, some people are just like, you know,
it's a harder grind.
Waste my time to go down there when you don't even know what you want. Doors open. If you like it, come back to me. So it just depends how you look at it.
Right. I hear that.
I'm interested to hear what you said to that agent.
What's that? Oh, I told him to go and stuff himself, mate. I actually liked the apartment, right? And I went for it, and I'll give you a funny story. So he said the door's open. I've gone there. I like the apartment. I want to take the apartment. Mm-hmm. But what actually happened was, as I was viewing, I said to him, yeah, I want to take it. He said, all right, then cool, no problem. What's your offer? I gave him my offer. Me, I'm quite indecisive. So I said, I want to see it again. So he said, all right, no problem.
Everyone, you want to make sure.
I want to see it again. I want to check the view. When I went, it was nighttime. I didn't see it in the day, all this good stuff. So he's like, okay, no problem. Now he's up my ass because he's like, yeah, I've got something here. So he said, what time's good for you? I told him. Me and him went to the apartment. So as I'm viewing, you never believe it. As I'm viewing, someone else has walked in. So I've turned around and it's the landlord checking out his unit. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, you're right. He's like, yeah, I'm good, thank you. So I'm chatting to him. The agent's watching me. So I'm thinking to myself, hold on. I don't care for this guy. So I'm going to speak to the landlord.
Exactly.
So me and the landlord's getting on. The agent's just there like, oh, please, no. And then I've said, oh, like, you know, the guy's gone to me, oh, you seem like a decent geezer. Let's go out for a drink. So I've taken his number.
Yeah. Yes.
Anyway, cut a long story short, as you probably know what happened, I managed to directly deal with the landlord, with the owner of the property. So that guy actually didn't get paid. I did offer him like a fraction just to say, you know,
thank you very much.
Thanks, yeah. But you know what I'm saying? I don't think
I know the source now.
Yeah,
so.
you don't. Yeah, I got the plug now, and you don't necessarily, you don't warrant that. Like,
and that's it. So it's like if they dealt with you in a certain way, you wouldn't feel bad about that. You'd want to give. I've been paid by a lot of clients that haven't even taken nothing through me. Because
it's the service.
100%. Like, you worked hard. I feel like obviously I'm sorry it didn't go ahead. I've taken something else, but here you go because obviously you put some work in. So it's just like,
and you know what? That again, it comes down to all fields and all situations and circumstances. Like I've tipped waiters when the food is shit, but it's not them cooking the food, but their service is good. So I'm saying this is cold. They're running. They're coming back. Yeah. So sorry, sir. Do you need anything else? If you want, I can speak to the manager. Offer you a discount. It's initiative. Yeah. So although the food wasn't, you know,
you appreciate the service.
So I'll still pay the tip for the service. Yeah. And I think it's a different conversation, but you pay for what you get for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if there's cheap labor there, then you know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to customer service in Dubai, especially, I think it's hard because you have loads of different nationalities. So someone might want to be spoken to frequently. Someone might want to be left alone. There's different, cultures where the way someone's coming across can be quite aggressive, but they're not being aggressive. It's just their culture. So I understand it and feel it for people that are in the hospitality, field. However, sometimes it can be evident that these guys are not properly trained and you have them on a particular wage to benefit your business, but it's actually doing your business a disservice because they don't have no initiative. If the computer says no, the computer says no. I might ask for a burger and take the tomato out. No, sir, the burger comes with tomato. Yeah. No, but just take the tomato. Yeah. Oh, I can't, sir. Like something as silly as that. Yeah. And it's like, come on. So that's service. It happens
so much. You see it so much in different industries as well.
Yeah. So I think that's something to touch on. But
I have a question. Me and you been talking about for the past 2 months now. We're like, listen, we're sick of renting. We're sick of like leasing a property, but it always gets down to this level where like I've been paying this much every year, right? And you never know when it's the time to buy. Like you never know if it's the time. What's the risk that you're gonna take that makes you be like, hey, I've done it anyways. If shit hits the fan, I'm good, right?
I think, like, as I said, I think the lockdown kind of kickstarted a lot of people in terms of like, after the lockdown, you might have had plans to go back home in like 2 years. Yeah. So you're thinking, there's no point buying something, I'm going to go back home soon. But then as soon as that happened, it's like, you've seen how your country's dealt with it. I ain't going back home anytime soon. I'm staying here. You know what? Let's just buy it. So it's like, it is always a risk because you never know if the market's going to go up. You don't know if it's going to go down. You don't know if it's a good market, a bad market. And it depends who you speak to, because one agent will tell you, oh, the market's down, the other one will say it's up. So it's always going to be a risk. But at the end of the day, if it makes sense for you and your family, you've got the money there and you're going to invest it, it's not actually going to affect your life, then do it. 100%.
I think the question you need to ask yourself is, does it make sense for you? Is it a family home?
Yeah.
You know, are you happy wasting money for something you don't own when you could own it? And even if you did move to a different country, you can still rent it out and you still have an income, even if it's fully paid or if it's on finance or it's on mortgage or whatever.
Exactly.
So the question you need to ask yourself is, do you actually want to own the property? You know, as a family or as a person or an individual, you know, does it make sense for you in your circumstances? And are you going to live in it? Because if you're going to live in it, you're going to get the benefit from it.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, from yourself.
It's guaranteed rent.
It's guaranteed rent.
Because you're living in it.
What's the percentage? Like, how many people they actually buy to live in it, and how many people actually buy just to rent?
Literally, for me anyway, I'd say
end user market.
80%.
80% people buy to
live in.
Yeah.
Live in.
20%.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense because we were speaking about it in the best way to go about it. So I hear that. Another thing that, and you guys are appreciated because you guys are kicking game. There's going to be people watching it that want to move here, that are interested in real estate, maybe doing it in whatever country they're in, and they need this knowledge. They need to understand the way the game works here. I'm sure it's quite different to back home and things like that. So we appreciate the gems. Go on.
Just on that, it's massively different. Like out here, it's all about you. Back home, it's all about your company. Back home, it's actually quite easy to be a real estate agent. Like
people walk past the window,
literally
tell you I'm selling my property.
Yeah.
And you're an exclusive agent because they're not going to go to anywhere else. You're just going to go to that estate agent. Over here, you know, you could be dealing with the one property and there could be 15 brokers on it.
Right. Like, so when you say brokers, like different companies that are listing the same.
Yeah. But like, what I'm trying to say is that like back home, it's all about your brand of your company. Like you sit in an office, the office phone's ringing, you pick it up, you go to a viewing, you bring the offer to the manager does the rest. So like, you're really just picking up calls, booking in viewings, and then doing the viewing and bringing it back. But here, you've got to build up your whole portfolio. So it's all on you as well.
Your
it's
reputation.
all on your mobile. It's all in your face. It's like, yeah, it's good to have a good company behind you, but they're going to remember you. They're not really going to remember the company. So again, with referrals, they're not going to refer the company. They're going to refer you. So it's like they're very much buying into you. So it's all on you.
So when you're moving and stepping outside of work, right? You got social media, you got WhatsApp, all that stuff. Is there that thing that sticks in your mind like, shit, I don't want to come across a certain way in case I bump into somebody that wants to rent or buy from me and they see me in this particular manner?
Oh man, yeah, 100%. You've always got to have that.
I've done a deal from Instagram, by the way, just on that. I've done a deal from Instagram to a guy who, well, in fact, actually, he put up...
Can I ask a question before? Hold that thought. When you say a deal on Instagram, is that because I know you have two different pages, right? So you have your property page or your personal page. Yeah. Is this from your personal or property page?
So it initiated from my personal page.
Right.
I seen a guy's story. He's quite well known. I wouldn't say he's famous, but he's quite well known. He's got over 4 million followers on Instagram. He put up a story saying, Dubai agents hit me up. I'm thinking, okay, I'll send a message, but what's the chances of someone with this many followers going to see my DM? I happen to actually know him through a mutual friend, but anyhow, I just sent a message. Boom, sorted. He replied, so it had his WhatsApp number. You know, 1 month
and the rest is history.
Boom, deal done.
That's crazy.
So you got to conduct yourself knowing that you don't know who's who.
But you know, your question exactly. I mean, I've
met clients in the most random places, and it's just like, oh, you work in real estate? Yeah, cool. I'm looking for a villa out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of
nowhere. Okay, cool. And it's like, at first you're like, all right, whatever. And then you actually speak to the next date, they're serious, they're looking, and all of a sudden you've just closed the deal.
But what's the first thing people do? They put your name into Instagram.
Yeah.
Or Facebook or whatever.
They want to know who you are. So again, if you're out and you're drunk
weird
and you're fighting or you're acting in a certain way, then I don't want to work with this guy. But if you conduct yourself well and it's like, you know what, he's actually a nice guy, let me work. Yeah, 100%. You got to keep it in mind.
Yeah.
For example, just on that one, like there's this is nothing really to do with social media ways, but there was this guy who works for another real estate company. Cahill would know him because he used to deal in the area. And, you know, on the portals, you'd have a strap line. So you'd have a description at the top. So you would see a property and it would be like custom built villa or, you know, most amazing penthouse in Dubai. This guy's descriptions were mental. get yourself a Christmas special with this villa. You know, it would be like. But there were some mad ones.
Yeah.
I can't even remember half.
Was
them.
it
like,
benefiting him or?
It was
be
like
creative.
Happy National Pakistan Day, buy this villa, or it's some mad description. So the moment, and if you see if you see the fella's profile picture beside it, he's got a suit on with shirt buttons are open like this. He's got a big tie, big tie knot on him. It just looks like an absolute lunatic. But some of these descriptions are, I can't remember what the best one was. It was the Christmas special. That was No, but the thing was, this was a Christmas special. This is still on the advertisement on March. Christmas special.
Wow.
The Christmas special, yeah.
Even though it's comical, those things actually work.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, do they?
People click into it just to see what it's like and just to call them and that they're interested. So like, even though it's like, what an idiot. Like, I had one woman in my area, her name was, I think, Dimple, and she, the straplines were mad. She would put like 2 cats, 2 dogs. If you need an extra room, give me a call, something like that. Like, just
Bad catch
I
line.
couldn't do that. You could imagine me, right? With 100 million dirham property up. Get yourself a Christmas special.
Of course not.
Yeah, that's mad.
But I've seen a lot of agents now, brokers. They're on YouTube. Like they actually they do a lot of clickbaits on YouTube. Like live in this mansion. It's not even a mansion.
That's a fantastic point because, since you've been here, okay. One thing I must say, you guys have been here the best of 4, 5, 6 years, yeah. So I think now Dubai has a lot of appeal, right? And with a lot of appeal, you have people coming over, and then obviously it kind of, when it comes to wage packets and stuff like that, it might be filtered out because now there's loads of demand. Where back in the day, no one was coming here, or not as many people. So bear that in mind. However, one thing I must say is, I lost my point now. Where was I?
The YouTube.
Yeah. So you guys have been here for 5, 6, 7 years, or even doing the real estate game for quite some time. How is it developing? How is it progressing with technology and stuff like YouTube? Like that's new to advertise. Maybe it's not new, but to advertise properties on YouTube, or sometimes I see it like as like an advert, or people. I think it's quite old school, but you see people in the malls. Like, fam, I've come for a fucking
funny you say that. Actually,
T-shirt from Zara, and you're trying to sell me a massive villa. But I'm sure that goes.
I know people that have sold mad villas in Dubai Mall just from like someone randomly walking past and just, what's this? And all of a sudden, they've just bought like.
That's mad. So how would you say? Like, you have your Instagrams and YouTube. So what sort of
YouTube's something I really don't deal with. I think it's something which I probably should do, because even before I moved to Dubai, first thing I was doing is I was searching mansions in Dubai, and I've heard from a lot of clients now who are in LA or in Miami or in New York or in London. They just go on YouTube and type in best villas in Dubai, and there'll be some broker who's just put up a video. It might have a couple 100,000 views all of a sudden.
And it's clickbait as well. And everyone would want to watch
you can
that.
inquire directly from that video to that specific agent.
Yeah.
That's something I don't do, but something that, I need to probably start doing.
There's one
more.
agent that comes to mind. I know Connor's going to know who I'm talking about, but he does a lot on YouTube. And to be honest, it's so silly what he does, and it's so like...
Is it cheesy?
Cheesy,
so cheesy.
Leaky, like... I cringe when I watch it, but he gets views, he gets inquiries, and he sells mad villas from it. So it's like, even though I'm sitting there like, look at this idiot, that idiot, it's working for him. So it's like, we're in a visual kind of age where like a lot of people like to look at stuff as opposed to like photos. And I think that what you were saying in terms of technology, over the last 5 years, yes, developed, but definitely within the last year. Because of the lockdown, there's a lot of things that got pushed through quite quickly. So in terms of like virtual tours online now. So
I've seen that. That's sick.
Yeah, so I'm saying you could do online viewing. So you can actually, during the I think I was one of the first agents to do it on Property Finder, where I'd go there at a certain time, I'd advertise it 1 p.m. on Saturday. I'll be doing a virtual viewing, and I'll go live on my feed. And I'll go around the villa like you're with me, and people are like, it's like going live on Instagram, and people are like, can I go in?
Comments?
Can I see that bedroom?
Let me see the maid room again.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
It's like you're literally doing deals from at home. Like you had to kind of just think outside the box during the lockdown was mad. I don't think people actually realise how mad it was in other countries. Like people back in the UK, they're in lockdown now. Like, oh my God, I'm in lockdown. You lot are out and you're enjoying yourself for it. we was actually literally in jail for like 6 weeks to 2 months. Like we couldn't leave
Confined.
the
Yeah,
house.
no, you had to
Police
obviously-
permits. Police.
Yeah,
Can you
get
imagine
police
back
permit.
in the UK
Yeah,
or
man.
Ireland, you got to apply for a police permit to leave your house? Are you mad?
to go to the corner shop,
Literally.
or you get fined, or
I'm having to kind of get that police permit to then go corner shop.
And only
to
one
then
person
take
from
a quick
the
detour
household.
to this villa to
Yeah.
then show someone that lives in the community, and then try and get back within the 2-hour space that I've been given, and we're doing
Yeah.
everything over Zoom and set like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we had to just as
Think
I said,
outside the box.
think outside.
that's ideal. What do you there's people that's going to be watching this thinking, oh, you know, I'm thinking about coming out and doing real estate and whatever else. However, what I've seen stop a lot of people, which I think shouldn't, but I understand why, is in real estate, certain companies yes, other companies no, but more time than none, there's no salary.
100% commission.
100% commission.
Yeah. That
So
puts a lot of people off.
that's a lot of pressure.
A lot
You
of
know,
stress.
A lot of stress. You know, me personally, if I'm in that field and I'm working and I'm doing okay, not great, but okay, I mean, I'm going to be tight to my dollar because I don't know when the next, you know, deal is coming in. So what would you say to people that are a little bit concerned about the fact that there's no salary? But then again,
I think
that
we've all
means there's
learned
no
from that
ceiling.
too, though.
It depends who you are as a person. Some people just can't live like that. They need to know how much you're making every single month. I need to know how much I can save. I know how they need these certain goals and targets in place. Otherwise, they're not comfortable. Me, that excites me. The fact that I can make anything, and it's just like you look at it like, oh my God, like you don't get no salary. But then I look at it like I can get 50% commission.
Yeah.
Back home, you get 10% commission, but then they give you a 20k salary. So it's like, yeah, you might take home $2,000 a month, but then I could get that off of one split deal.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, depends how you look at it at the end of the day. It's like, there's so much opportunity to make money. So if you're scared of that, it's not for you.
Yeah.
Don't even attempt it.
Yeah. Because I suppose,
just stay where you're at.
I suppose someone could look at it like, oh my God, you don't get a salary.
But
But
what if
you
you
could
don't
look at it
make
like,
no
oh my
money?
God, you've
Yeah.
got a ceiling.
That's it.
Like, no matter how hard you work, you're getting X.
You only be able to...
Yeah.
Like in whatever field, do you know what I'm saying? So I think you just got to know what's best for you. And it comes down to ultimately betting on yourself.
It's the work you put in. If you're willing to work hard, you get it out at the other side. And it's like, if you're not willing to work hard, just don't even bother.
If you own your own company,
Same, it's entrepreneurs, that's what I'm saying, yeah, 100%. It's the same thing that
like,
we're doing.
you got to make money, right? Otherwise, you don't have it.
Yep, that's a fact. And I think even with yourself, you're doing, you're rapping or whatever else.
16, if you're selling sweets in school, if you don't sell the sweets, you don't make money.
Yeah, exactly. So
Simple.
it's all about like betting on yourself. It's funny because I had a conversation with my pal day before yesterday, and he's in the UK, so he's in lockdown or whatever else, and he's like, let's do a bet. Let's bet that I'll be in better shape than you will be in June. And it's fair to say some people may argue he's in a better shape than I am at the minute. However, if I'm betting on myself, I'll take that bet all day.
Exactly.
Because it's me that's gonna make it happen.
You're in control.
I'm in control. It's not like I'm betting on horses or, the McGregor fight. Do you know what I'm saying? When it's in your hands, then you're good to go. So I think it shows a lot of character. And it's not people that don't necessarily like the idea of not having a salary. There's nothing wrong with that either. Do you know what I'm saying? You just gotta
respect
know
that.
yourself.
That's-
You gotta know yourself.
Yeah,
You know.
I know a lot of people started with no salary for like 2 months straight.
Yeah.
It just they actually believe, man. They have faith,
Belief.
and at the end of the day, they have an advance on themselves. So they have money to eat for 2 months. They have a rent for 2 months, and they're like, "Cool, I'm gonna take this and run with it."
Yeah.
And if it works, it works. You know.
So this is like, again, I'm glad you kind of touched on it, but that's the difference between me and Conor. Because like me, like Conor works in a very high-end area where like he only do a certain amount of deals a year. I couldn't do that. I need to get out. I need to do viewings. I need to do deals. That's what keeps me going. And like, I'd rather do deal just to keep me going throughout the month, as opposed to deal and then deal. But these times, he'll probably make more than me in the long run.
Yeah.
That's just how I work.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that there's times you've gone like 6 months ain't been paid. It's mad. But then obviously the next pay you're getting is
Is
mad.
it nice?
So
What's the longest drought you've had?
That was madness. Maybe 7 months, was it?
Is it 7
Yeah,
months?
but the deal before that was...
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's all
well, it was
relative.
record
Don't get me wrong.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
don't get me wrong.
7 figures, but...
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
7 months.
cool now. Just cool now.
I couldn't couldn't even deal with it. It's just mentally. And again, going through what he goes through in terms of like the level that you're dealing with, because like
get deals agreed and then it falls through.
Deals
must
signed.
be disheartening as well.
Deals signed. I'm talking like big multi-million dollar, not dollar, but deals signed. Go to do a transfer. I man, just don't turn up. There's nothing you can do.
There's a lot of like festivals in the States. Like the owners, they only do one festival a year.
Yeah,
but this festival
that's their income.
Makes
millions.
And they're working all year for that one day.
The level you want to be at is obviously still doing these big deals, but not taking your foot off the gas, because I was guilty of taking my foot off the gas and getting comfortable.
Right.
That's the last thing you can do. That's what Conor McGregor has done. He's got comfortable where he's at, and then boom, he gets TKO'd.
Yeah.
It's all lessons.
You learn lessons. Now I'm in the mindset where even if I do another big deal, you still next week or whatever, I'm still going. I'm hungrier than ever now. I'm not getting comfortable. I'm going to keep going and keep going.
That comes from experience as well.
Experience, yeah.
And I think
when
what
you've been
people
in that situation before, you tend to learn from it.
And what people don't understand as well, whatever country you're deriving from, like, I'm sure it's hard times. However, when you come to Dubai, it's a different type of jungle because naturally you look around, you see Ferraris, Lamborghinis, this, that, and the third. So you want to live a certain lifestyle. Next thing you know, you're keeping up with the Joneses. Now you're lost.
You're gone.
So how I've seen a lot of people come and not be able to sustain is because they're trying to keep up. And one piece of advice I would have to say to anyone watching that is thinking about coming out here is do the maths. Because I've had people that say to me, I'm on X amount at home, 40K at home or whatever. I can come out here and make 50K tax free. Okay, but look at your outgoings. How much is your rent going to be? How much is your car going to be? How much are you going to go out? What sort of lifestyle are you trying to live? So after your outgoings, you might not be able to save as much as you'll be able to save at home. It depends on what sort of...
There's a lot of distractions here as well.
A lot of distractions.
A night out here and a night out back home is a different kettle of fish.
Definitely. And you're with the big boys. And it's not cheap. Do you know what I'm saying? So just know yourself and do the maths and stay grounded, which is easier said than done. My first 2 years here, I was blowing the bag.
No, of course, yeah.
Blowing the bag. Yeah. And then I sat down and thought to myself, hold on a second. I'm here for a reason. Okay, there's sunshine and it looks great and stuff like that, but I'm sacrificing not maybe seeing my mum as frequent or stuff like that. Yeah. So it has to go hand in hand. It has to make sense, so bear that in mind. Go on, Pete, what was you going to say?
No, I was saying, obviously, if you're in a salary job, then yeah, of course, you got to stay grounded. But in sales, it depends how you look at it. Because I know companies back home, not in real estate, but in sales, and they'll make you rent a certain apartment. Like I'm talking like prime location, Canary Wharf, £2,000 a month. You have to rent that. You have to take out this car. So you've got X amount of outgoings on a monthly basis. So you can't be comfortable. Yeah. You need to be out of your comfort zone every single month that you're pushing yourself, because then that's when you're going to hit the real bag. So it's like, depends how you look at it at the end of the day.
All right, cool. Well, we're going to wrap up soon, but what are we saying? Is there any wild stories that the man them have got for me? Like, if you not, because I remember my boy at home, he was telling me that he was doing a viewing and he accidentally left the door open. So when he's gone to show a client, he's gone to open the door and the door's just, swung open. He's like, in his head, he's thinking, shit, I must have left it open from last time. Anyway, so he's showing the client the property and he's gone upstairs and there's like, we call it squatters having sex just there, like in the property, like God, he's like, bro, like, how am I gonna sell this? It's going off. So like, is there any mad? Not like that, but is there any crazy stories you've had?
Similar where I've taken, an Arab family, very, obviously traditional. To this lad's apartment who, penthouse we've been trying to sell. He's not there. He's obviously woke up. He just left the apartment because he doesn't want to be seen in the apartment just for that 10 or 15 minute period we had. Apartment's a mess. There's bottles of beer, bottles of wine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And it's over kind of like 2 levels. So it's got like a little penthouse at the top, or a little pool at the swimming pool, or at the top. We go into the master bedroom. Stains all over the bed. Condoms. Used condoms just hanging over the side of the bin. Used. It's not even a wrapper, it's used.
Oh, mate.
we go up to the pool area and it's just a mess. How can you sell that to an Arab family, to anyone?
So what happened? Did they see that?
No, well, look, I'm fuming because, I've got a buyer who's so excited to see this, and then they see that.
Yes.
Can't turn no one around from that. So I get on the phone straight away to the seller, and I'm like, man, this is like, what's going on? Hey, bro, it was a late night last night. It is what it is, but at least they'll know that I was using protection, so it's safe. I'm like, man.
No,
I just had to start to laugh. Like, I was like, I can't sell this unit like this.
Yeah.
I can't do this.
As much as I'd say, like, as a buyer, you go in with like a open mindset because you might change colors of the walls, but you can't. There's certain things you ain't gonna be able to look past. It's like, bro, like, what sort of shit is happening in here? What sort of energy? What energy is in here? What about yourself? Any wild mad stories or
nothing wild that I want to talk about anyway? But I got a story actually about another agent. Fucking hilarious. But he works in the marina. He's actually someone you know.
No, I've done the maths already.
But I can't actually say who it is.
Yeah,
but,
go on.
Basically, he had a client that was going to take a unit through him. So she said, I really like it, but I'm going to see another unit this evening and I'll come back to you in the morning. He's like, what unit it is? And he knew the unit, but obviously she had booked it through another agent already. Right. So he was like, oh, God, like, she's going to like that unit. It's better than what I've got. So she was going later on in the evening. So before she had gone there, he's gone to the apartment, bust one of the pipes from underneath the sink. Whoa. No joke. He's like like put like dirt all over the walls, like flooded out the apartment, and like he's mentioned to her as well, like, why are you gonna see that? I heard that it needs a lot of work. So obviously he's planted the seed in her head. She's obviously gone later that evening, called her straight away. Oh my God, like you're right, like there's a lot of work needed. Let me take the apartment. I was like, nah, you're a cowboy.
That is crazy.
I don't think I've heard the story, but.
Yeah, that's madness.
Yeah, man.
It wouldn't surprise me as well. You got to do what you got to do, man. It's a dog eat dogs. But anyway, quickly, Conor McGregor, what's going on, bro? That's your guy. quickly.
That quiet.
You went to watch
from the bottom. Now he's here.
Yeah, no, that's
he's got a prime example of what we touched on in the middle of the conversation was he's comfortable. He's not fighting for money. He's not fighting for lifestyle. He's got that. He shows up because he wants to do it now. It's not because he has to do it. It's because he wants to do it. Yeah. And he's a fighter at the end of the day. Yeah. He'll be back stronger than ever.
He got paid $5 million, right, for the fight?
Yeah,
you're gonna get a decent wedge anyway. Like regardless,
I got that 700,000.
Yeah, $1 million or something.
One guy made more money on betting against that fight than what the fighter got. But he'll be back. He's got the mindset. He's got the vision. That won't faze him in the slightest. He'll be back, and I'm sure.
And one thing I must say,
fight, it will go the other way.
I personally think he lost a lot of, not credibility, but a lot of following after the Khabib fight. Not because he lost, maybe because of how he, conducted himself. Yeah. However, since then,
it's been a different.
He's been a different guy. I think he probably. I don't want to speak.
Been a lot nicer.
Exactly. I don't want to speak on his behalf, but he seems like okay, shit. I kind of did too much there, but fair play to the guy in terms of he's always been gracious, win or defeat. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and that's just life. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone's gonna take W's. You might take an L, but it's a lesson.
At the end of the day, people hated him because of what he did, right? Yeah. But the thing is, bro, that's how the UFC. Bro, that's how the UFC blew up, bro. Yeah. It's just because this guy talks shit. It's entertainment.
Yeah, definitely.
If it was just a normal guy and he's very polite and humble, it'll be boring. No one's gonna watch it.
It'll be who the hell's Conor McGregor?
Yeah,
exactly.
I was speaking. I had a meeting with a guy who was just an Irish guy. Kept on messaging me on Instagram. He's new out here. Kept messaging me on Instagram on my personal page, messaging me on my property page, and sent me a WhatsApp. He just wanted to meet someone new and get an insight of what Dubai was like. So I'll go meet him. And he was saying how Khabib, was the difference in profile and the difference of personality. Maybe not so much personality, but profile and how well someone's known. Conor McGregor's got over, I think, 40 million followers on Instagram. He's a superstar. He's well known.
Yes.
Everyone knows who Conor McGregor is. Not everyone knows who Khabib is. Yeah. And what was kind of brought up was, so Khabib was in the mall and, he's happy to take photos and happy to check people's hands or whatever. But a lot of people don't know if he walks through that mall. I didn't know who Khabib was until he was fighting Conor McGregor. Yeah.
One hand washes the other. He's not able to conduct himself in that way because of the attention.
And the attention.
Exactly.
There's a different side to the story.
No, you're right. Anyway, let's wrap this up, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming through, sharing the Dubai real
Pleasure
estate
to have us.
lifestyle. I don't know if you want to shout out your Instagram or stuff like that.
Luxury Property Dubai.
Okay.
Short and simple.
Yeah, yourself.
Mr. No Days Off DXB.
Mr. No Days Off, you know the vibes. Freak in the building. We're here. Love. Follow the guys if you want to ask them any questions with regards to real estate and stuff like that. And yeah, we'll come at you in a few weeks' time. Love.